morning, La La Land. I'm Dr. Erin.
I am Rob Mack.
And I am Jez Moye. Thank you so much for being here with us today, Wednesday, on Good Morning La La Land.
That's right. We have a great show in store for you. It's all about Wednesday wisdom and wealth wisdom. We go over things like how to not get stressed out about money and things like that during the holidays. Yeah. We've got an epic guest, and we've got all kinds of Q&As around it, so you don't want to miss this show today. So who's our guest today?
You guys, I couldn't be more excited, more honored to have my dear friend, Phil Ranta, in the studio today. He is literally, good morning, Phil. He is
good morning.
Pioneering the digital revolution in Hollywood, and he is changing the game.
Yep. Can you say 7 billion viewers
insane.
every month with his clients?
You know how insane that is?
I don't even know. Like, it blows my mind.
So, Phil, today on Good Morning La La Land, we're talking about business and being a smart-minded entrepreneur. A lot of people want to know, how do you start your day in LA?
Wow. Yeah, I mean, every morning I wake up and I walk my pit bull Bighead. You can follow him on Instagram at Bighead the dog. Yeah, give him a walk, and then I try to go on the elliptical when I can, but I usually don't, and then I go to work.
You have always claimed to love LA from the day I met you. What is it about LA that you love?
You know, I mean, both of us, we come from Western Michigan, so the first thing is the weather. I love never having to worry about snow or how slippery the roads are going to be or raining every day. But also the people. I like the energy of the people. It's a little bit more laid back. It's fun. It's not like some of the other big cities where everybody's rushing around. Like, it gives you some time to chill, which is awesome.
And it is a city filled with dreamers, and I know that's one of the reasons why both you and I came from Michigan to LA, and now you are on the pages of Variety. You are being touted as one of Hollywood's digital leaders, movers and shakers. It is incredible. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, I mean, it's humbling. I never wanted to really go into TV or film. As soon as I came out here and I realized how hard it was to get projects on the air, I was just like, I don't want to wait a year pushing on something so that it maybe gets on the air. So as soon as the internet started taking off, I was all in. Starting around 2005, when I first started doing internet content, from there on, I'm like, this is my future. So yeah, it's been a long journey, but I'm glad I got there.
You certainly got there, and it's been such an incredible opportunity for me as your friend to witness that journey and the amount of work and dedication you put in to really take it to the top. So we're so excited to get more into that interview later in the show. Stay tuned for that.
So many questions.
So excited. I mean, I have too many questions. We're not going to really get it all in today. There's no way. There's no way. So I'm sure it's taken so much work to get where he's at. And like yesterday, I didn't do so much work, so I don't know. I worked a lot harder than I did.
Well, it's really interesting to balance work and life in LA, right? And especially in this town, that is a blurry line.
Right.
So what did you do yesterday, Rob?
I just worked. I didn't sleep. You know, actually, I did. I worked most of the day, but then I did go to. Did you guys hear about Taylor Swift's pop-up in Santa Monica?
I didn't, because I'm not on the west side.
So west side.
Yeah,
I had to check out. I'm not really a Swiftie, but I've got nothing.
Swiftie.
Yeah,
apparently he is.
I know.
I
Gave myself away, didn't I? But I checked out the pop-up. It was super cool. It was a blue carpet. It was packed. So I did a little of that. I saw clients. I thought about you guys, as always.
Nice.
Yeah, what'd you guys do? What'd you do?
So, very LA, I went to a friend's screening. So one of my neighbors is an aspiring filmmaker, made an indie movie and was shooting down the street, and they actually even shot some of the scenes at the house I stay in. So he said, you know, why don't you come over, we'll make fajitas and we'll watch my movie. And it's just so interesting.
Watch my movie.
Watch my movie.
That's so LA.
You can't get any more LA than that.
It is so LA. One, it was a great film. I'm really excited to, tell you guys more about that soon, but it's just so cool, the amount of talent that is in this town, and the ability to really just even support your neighbors who are, in the fashion industry or the film industry, and just be a part of that. It is so LA.
Yeah,
so LA.
It's mind-blowing. And when you actually start sharing like daily experiences of living in LA with people who don't live in LA, they definitely think you're an egotistical maniac. I mean, literally. I'm like, oh,
well,
yeah, I'm gym.
We are.
No, but
it's so true.
It's funny because these things, they seem so unattainable or so far-reaching to anybody else you know, who isn't really involved in the community of LA. But that is what we're doing here.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, sometimes my parents will call and say, hey, what are you up to today? I'm like, I was at the gym. They're like, oh, did you see any of your friends? And I'm like, I did, and then you start to think of the name, and you're like, I'm not gonna drop any of these. It sounds so terrible.
So
they're literally there, but that's just so LA.
I don't like that. Yeah, I don't name drop.
You can't.
For sure,
yeah.
no.
Yeah.
But you're not even intentionally name
That's what I
dropping.
mean.
That's where it gets
That's what I
weird.
mean.
You're like,
They're
oh, I had
just-
dinner with. Never mind.
No,
I'm
that's
not
gonna
even
sound
say it.
weird. Yeah, that just sounds weird. I'm not that guy. but
you are that guy, Rob.
All right, well.
You're just that cool. You gotta own
You're
it.
just so cool.
That's right. What happened? Say it one more time. Didn't hear that? I can never get enough of that.
Oh, yeah. So I had a complete LA day yesterday. So like I said, like one of those, there's days when you just like buckle down, you're on computer, you're doing all the back end stuff that is the grind of all of it. And then there's days when you're just out in the world, and yesterday was such an LA day for me. I had a meeting at Fred Siegel, which is, you gotta go there because there's parking. There's like a few places in West Hollywood you can park. It's a great place.
Parking is a novelty in Los
It's
Angeles.
Oh my gosh,
right?
yeah.
And then I went over to Silver Lake. I actually had to meet with my half brother, who I love and adore, you, Sutherland. We are just gabbing about. He's actually going to spend Christmas together. So now it's gonna be my son and my brother, which is like such a random, bizarre Christmas. So I'm super excited about that. And then I was over at the Grove. They had the celebration of Hanukkah. And so you guys know, I didn't know. So every night at 7 and 8 p.m. they had the actual snow that they blow there at night.
Wow.
Right?
Love that.
I mean, I don't think it's real snow. I don't know what.
But it's super cold. I can get snow without.
I don't know what it is. If it's real, I think
It's a
real
Winter
snow.
Wonderland LA version.
I love that.
Yeah.
I don't have to be freezing and can experience the snow. It's awesome.
And that was it. I mean, it wasn't, I'm always like thinking, how can I make this funnier? What story? And da-da-da. And it's really like, the only thing I was thinking is that, I don't know if you guys do this, but in LA, when we were driving in the car all the time, I don't know if I think you're like one or the other type of person. Of course, I'm on the phone a lot, but if I'm listening to music, I have one thing that I do. I listen to one song over and
On
over
repeat?
again,
Wait.
like 50 times.
Did you get so hype off of it?
I just I have a song. It's
What's your song right
What's your
now?
theme? It's like a theme song. It's like a personal theme song.
Sometimes it's a mantra, sometimes it's whatever. Right now it's a Duran Duran song.
Really?
It's like the most bizarre, and I listen to it I've probably listened to it 100 times in a row.
I got T Swift on repeat right
Do
now.
you?
I'm all about, ooh, look what you made me do. Over and over. I'm feeling
I
it.
feel like you have an alter ego, Jessalyn.
I do.
I want to see that alter ego.
That's because I'm a Gemini. Remember,
Oh,
Rob? There's a
that's
little
right.
this, a
Little
little
split
that,
there.
and it's all T Swift.
Wow, I
Right?
am not going to get on your bad side, Jessalyn.
So on to current events in LA.
Yeah.
So want to give a little wrap up. We know Pixies are playing tonight, right? Wednesday, Hollywood Palladium.
Wow.
And of course, we have the Max Mara thing we're all going
Oh
to.
my
Yeah,
gosh.
Max Mara event partnering with InStyle tonight on Rodeo Drive. We're super excited. We've got a fashion resort collection. It'll be really glamorous. Rob's going all black tie.
Black tie.
Are you?
The bow
Is
tie,
it-
the whole
is it
nine.
black tie?
Yeah, I've had this plan for months. No, I have not. I have not. I freaked out and called Melanie and was like, hey, Mel, what am I going to wear?
No, is it a black tie?
I don't think it's that formal, but I do
But
think
he's
it's
got
pretty
to
nice.
stand out. Like,
gotta-
he's got to stand. Like, he needs to walk in and be the best dressed.
I'm
person.
used to just
He's
simply
smart.
being a prop and not saying much, just standing
That's
there.
why I have you here.
Yeah, I actually don't have to worry about what I'm going to wear for once because
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Rob and he's going to look so good. He just takes that
Wow.
pressure off for me.
Man, I didn't think I ever wanted to get married, but I'm telling you, I'm changing my mind about that.
You shouldn't have said that. My mother is watching.
she?
Yeah, she's got
Miss Moyer, please.
Yes.
Forgive me. Yes.
No, there's another event happening in LA that I want to give a quick shout out tonight. There is an I Am Zoe event. It's an empowering women's panel. They've got some great speakers, including Fernando Romero, and they're partnering with a really cool new jewelry app, Collectin, that I'm also involved with. It's kind of a fashion buyer shop and a way of curating your own style. So that's another really fun event that's happening.
Wow,
Oh, cool.
super cool. I know tomorrow there's a Venice Beach Holiday Beach House pop-up party.
What are,
super
wait,
cool.
what are the
It's like
pop-up parties? I don't
apple
really totally
cider.
get what that means.
It's just like they create something out of nothing, essentially. So there's like the
Okay.
beach is right there, and they just create a party on the spot.
Okay,
Like
and
the
so
way-
I'm sure there's lots of, I would imagine, businesses that are
Sure.
they are
Yeah.
specializing in pop-up events.
I would imagine.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
it's probably just
absolutely.
all Taylor Swift
They
under
have-
her umbrella.
They have
company.
pop-up. They have pop-up restaurants too. Now I'm like
I know.
remembering all this. Okay, yeah, right.
Well,
That's
and
a big thing.
that's what I was mentioning too with the Luella Rockefeller that I've been mentioning, where I got these awesome jeans, by the way.
Dope.
She's a fashion pop-up down the street at Melrose, and so what's really interesting about the pop-up is that it exists for a short amount of time, so it becomes really exclusive. You only have either a night or 3 months to get there, and so it really kind of encourages
all
this
about
like
scarcity.
Exactly.
Get it now.
It's elusive. It's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a billion food trucks.
Food.
And
Love that. Enough food.
So in Venice,
I really
so
can't.
in
I
Venice,
can't.
it's what? It's a pop-up about what again?
It's a like a beach, like holiday pop-up party. You know, so
Okay,
they have
cool.
apple cider and they have very
Aw.
holiday-like things. Yeah, it'll be cool.
That's
what do
fun.
you
Yeah.
do to make it feel like the holiday in LA, Rob?
What do I do personally?
Yeah.
I see. I'm not I'll be honest with you. I'm not a huge holiday, like traditional holiday person.
You
so
are
I do
definitely
like.
not.
I'm not. Aaron
No,
knows.
no.
I'm not. I'm willing to admit that. I kind of like working, and I like the consistency and routine that comes with like non-holidays. But that being said, I do listen to some Christmas music. But I'm honestly like I go way back with Mariah Carey. Like that holiday music, I love that. I'll be honest with you.
All you need.
It's dope. Yeah, like
that's all
I want for Christmas, like that song. I
Is
just
that
put that.
bad to listen to that in June? Because I do that sometimes.
Isn't that so funny though? I think that album came out in like 1992.
Yeah, it's a classic.
And every year there's like a choreographed dance to it.
Yep.
And that is like the first song I think of when I think
know.
of Christmas music.
It instantly makes me happy. I see the video.
Right.
You know, I see
Have you
her-
ever met Mariah Carey?
I have met Mariah Carey.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, there we go, name dropping, Rob.
I didn't drop that name. That was you. I just simply asked you to answer the
Well,
question.
obviously now they want to know you met
I know.
Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
I hung out next to her like at a party for a long time, but
That
I was,
counts.
you know.
Yeah.
What did
But-
you do, Rob?
But I didn't do much.
You're like, Mariah Carey, hi.
Yeah, I was just like, hi, how are you? And it was just like a very simple, very friendly conversation.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
You should have given her a little Santa baby.
I know. Oh God. For
Here's
me,
your chance, Rob.
she would have run like the wind.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So I think we should take a break
Okay.
because the second segment is all about Wednesday Wisdom and Wealth Wednesday.
Speaking
and
of.
so we're going to get into a couple Q&As, but I think we may even want to cut our second segment a little short to get back because this is a brilliant mind back there. I'm kind of like chomping at the bit. What do you guys
Yeah,
think?
the guy makes YouTube
Right?
stars. Yeah.
So we're going to take a break. We're going to come back and do a little short segment on that and then get back there as soon as possible. So you do not want to miss this next one. Stay tuned, you guys.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Odiva TV. And right now we're in the Focus TV studios in Hollywood.
Happy Wednesday, Empoweristas. It's Alex Worley.
Hey guys, I'm Amy Paffrath.
And I'm Justin Walter.
And this is What's Good, the show that's dedicated to positive, uplifting stories from all over the world.
Hi, this is Alyssa Goodman Show, and I am Alyssa Goodman.
You're watching Beige Bay TV. It's fitness expert and your Beige Bay, Edwina Chia.
Hey, Dr. Erin here, teaching universal law and spiritual truth.
Hey everyone, it's Michelle Gillette with Focus TV, and this is the Spotlight Series.
Hey LA, I'm Gwen Lane with the LA Girl.
Hey everybody, Terry here, host of the interview series Success Beyond Beauty.
Hi, I'm Fern Olivia, and welcome to Sensual Intelligence TV.
Hi, I'm Janet Gunn here with Focus TV for my segment of Fearless Females.
Dr. Erin here, Doctor of Divinity, teaching universal laws and spiritual truth, and I am thrilled to announce the new show on Focus Television right here in West Hollywood, Los Angeles, California. Join us weekly as I interview incredible people, celebrities to your next door neighbor, you name it, your girlfriend. We're going to dive into such topics as love and relationships, health and vitality, business and money, and creative expression. And I'm thrilled to just go on this awakening journey with you as we tap into meditation, visioning processes, intuition, and all the above.
So stay tuned as we do this together.
Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land.
Yes, we are so excited you are here with us this morning, and I have a dear friend back in the studio, Phil Ranta. Hello, Phil.
Hello.
Hi, so we are talking Wealth Wednesday, Wisdom Wednesday here, and we have all done some crazy jobs in LA to support ourselves and our creativities.
Sure.
So what was your first job in LA?
My first job in LA, I was a development assistant at a reality television show company. It was very low pay. It was right at the beginning of the reality boom, and I was just writing crazy concepts for reality shows. But to help myself make money during that time, I was doing comedy shows for $50 and a beer. I was doing mall surveys, like any PAing on weekends, anything I could do to make money.
So what do you think is the craziest job you've ever had?
I'd say the craziest job I ever, and I don't think I can get sued for this anymore because the time has passed too much, but I had a friend who worked at a mall survey company where he would say tricky types of people they needed to find, and then we would go in and lie and say we were that demographic, like I'm a 25-year-old luxury car owner, or that I come from Alabama, in order to take these surveys. Then you get like $100 per survey.
Now that wasn't really a lie, Phil. You were working on your acting. That was
Exactly. I was putting on the character and answering as they would. So.
Exactly.
Just defined my dating life. That's the way I go about it.
That's what the Tinder profile says. Yeah. Whatever you want me to be.
Exactly right.
Yeah, it's
That's
funny
great.
because Rob says, oftentimes he just says, "Oh, I won the lottery."
I'm gonna make a Millions winner.
Right. Yeah.
It's not actually true, but
That's so funny.
yeah, I don't want to track that credit. I don't think.
No, that's funny. Well, we are so excited to get more into your career and how you have built your empire in the next segment, Phil. So stay tuned.
Great.
Okay, good. So we did have a couple people write in because we're talking about money, wealth, and concerns around the holidays.
Yes.
And so I just want to read a couple of them. One is Jenna from Silver Lake asks, every year I go into debt to buy a present. It takes me almost the entire year to get out of debt, only to charge again on my credit card for the holidays. I should buy everyone in my family gifts, but I don't know how without going into debt this year. So Jenna, I just want to first say, you should stop shooting on yourself, as they say,
that.
right?
Yeah.
What do you guys think about this?
You know, Jenna, I feel for you because I feel the same way. I really do.
Do you go into debt? Do you actually go into debt, or?
Oh, I'm already in debt, Aaron. I don't know. I'm going into
Born into debt.
That's a personal question.
Our generation is born into debt.
How much more deep into debt do I want to go? Let's be honest. And there is this you really want to give, but you're really not in a position to give, and that can weigh really heavily on you.
Right?
Yeah.
So what do you recommend
Just
as a
avoid
coach?
people. I just avoid.
Yeah,
I just avoid family, friends.
My phone wasn't
I'm
working.
sorry. I changed my number right before the holiday every year, or just make more money. No, I think for me, I try to set really honest and healthy expectations. For me, honestly, I just say, look, I really love spending time with you guys, and I want to do something that we can enjoy as an experience.
Totally.
I always fall back on science, so it's easy for me to say, oh, well,
Right.
science says that if we have an experience together as opposed to buying things, it'll be a lot more memorable.
Right.
We'll enjoy it a lot more.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like I said, don't buy me a gift because I'm not buying you a gift this year. But I'm all about cash. Okay. No. Just kidding.
Right.
I'm kind of, but no. I think Jenna. Honestly, I think that communication is king and queen. Let's no longer say king. Let's say queen. Because, and I think that people, if you come up to say, look, I really don't want to do the whole material exchange. I'd love to do something more fun and create an experience. You can create an experience without spending money. It could be like something you make up that's like good for me to come cook you dinner one night, or I don't know what that is.
You mentioned communication though, and a lot of people don't want to be honest about what their situation is.
You'd be shocked how many people actually don't want to buy gifts and don't want to receive gifts.
So just host the party and tell everyone it's BYOB.
Yes.
And make them bring the party to you.
That's true.
There you go. There's a natural. Okay,
Yeah.
we've got another question.
Another quick question. This one's from Chris from Seattle. Chris from Seattle writes, I don't want to buy child skis and a bunch more crap. Our family's going to LA for the holidays. What are some experiential gifts I could buy my family that we could use while we are there?
Oh, you were just talking about that,
Yeah,
Rob. What are
yeah.
some good experiences in LA you could gift?
Boy. So many options. I mean, I love the idea of taking a trip away from LA and the crowds. You know, so you can always. Totally kidding. I don't know. I mean, I've always loved going to like the Science Center. I love Griffith Observatory, love that kind of thing. I think there's an opportunity to do lots of fun things when you're here. So one of the things that my family does is they'll come to visit, and I will just set up a couple of events like dinners, or we'll go to a special event, and I'll pay for it in advance or something like that.
Oh, nice. There's also, I think there's a Cirque du Soleil right now.
Yes.
There's ballet, there's ice skating, I mean, you could go high-spec riding up in Malibu. There's so many experiential. I know this because one of my dear friends is a experiential junkie. Like everything she does has to be about going and doing things. So she's buying her entire family all experiential gifts. So I thought that's really cool.
Absolutely.
Right?
I love that. I love getting an experience. I know last year I got gifted a Groupon to go whale watching, and it's very LA. And we went, and it was one of the best gifts, honestly, I'd ever been given, because it was such a cool experience. You know, we took the day out of LA, we were in LA, but out of LA, you know, left from the port in Long Beach. And it was just so much fun just to see the wildlife and a whole different side of LA that when you're trapped in Hollywood, you don't necessarily get to experience.
Right?
It's incredible. I mean, and millennials are all over this, right? They in
are.
advance of, they've been doing this for a long time. They've been focused on having more experiences as opposed to acquiring stuff. So I think it's time that, you know, get on the trip.
Yeah, great topic. And I think that that's kind of partly why our guest today, Phil, we feel so strongly about the concept of you know, millennials are basically moving away from as much materialism. They care more about the experience, right?
Absolutely. You know, they're saying a lot of millennials aren't putting the importance on marriage and kids. They're putting the importance on jobs and their education. Traveling, things like that. And the whole way that they're building their business is completely changing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think people care about their art. They care about their purpose. I mean, Justin Bieber really teed us up for that one, right? Like, what is your purpose? Like, so they're shifting, you know, they want jobs that have meaning instead of just getting a bunch more of the rat race. And it's a big shift of values in the younger generation.
But a lot of people, to that point, have to work to finance that shift, which is really interesting, especially in LA when you see all the servers, the people at the coffee shops, or the cashier at the grocery store. A lot of them are trying to finance that creativity until they get into a position where they can make an income for it.
Well, if you get your social media game up, like Phil is about to tell us, it's not a problem. You make money, you get to travel, you have experiences.
I know, I think we should cut this segment because he's going to have way more better answers than we have by a long shot. What do you guys think about that?
No pressure, Phil.
Exactly.
So we're coming back to you, Phil, right now. So stay tuned. We're going to actually take this into the back studio with Phil right now, and we're going to dive deep into how to make it online, how to make it in Hollywood. He is an incredible leader in so many epic, incredible influencers on YouTube, and you name it, 7 billion viewers every month. So stay tuned. We will be right back.
7 billion.
morning, La La Land. We okay.
Hi, Instagram. We're
I
back.
saw us on that. Good morning, La La Land. We are back with digital pioneer changing the whole face of Hollywood, Phil Ranta.
Thank you for having me.
Wow.
Thank you so much for coming.
Absolutely.
I'm so excited that you're here.
I'm excited to be here. I don't get to do a lot of the morning show. I don't get to be part of the content much. I'm usually behind the scenes, so this is fun for me.
You're the man behind the magic.
I like to think so. One of the many.
Some
It's a great
serious
team. My boss
magic.
would kill me if I'm like, I'll take credit for everything. It's all me. Sure, rain it down.
Rain it down. But you are the CEO of Studio 71, one of the world's largest MCMs.
Yep.
What does that mean?
So it means multi-channel network, but we really consider ourselves more of a digital media company, right? So if, say, Viacom was being built for the connected generation, what would it look like? So we do original content, TV shows, movies, premium short-form experiences. We do branded content. Then we've got this huge pool of influencers that we work with to help build brands and make them more popular.
We tell some of the top ones you work with because they're huge names.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. So the number one that everybody's always like, is The Rock.
The Rock.
So The Rock's YouTube page is, I mean, there's nobody more famous than The Rock.
Honestly,
so,
right?
And everybody doesn't like The Rock.
That's true. He's like
The Rock.
perfectly nice, awesome.
It's like
They're not friends with us.
Yeah, exactly.
Highest compliment ever. I'm gonna record that and replay it all day, every day.
Right. But then the kids, the Rock for the kids is Logan Paul, who we also work with.
Didn't he live right behind Fred Siegel before?
I actually don't know if he lived right behind Fred
She
Siegel.
knows Fred Siegel well.
I'm a Fred Siegel whore, okay? No, I think it's him. I think he bought a new home because I was just looking up to make sure it's him.
Yeah.
But I think he had a home there because every time I'd leave there from lunch, there'd be like all these kids
We should
around.
definitely find his address and put it on the screen.
He just did a video that was his house tour. It was like $6 million house tour.
Right.
So we can go back and check the addresses on that.
Logan Paul has over 14 million subscribers on YouTube, and he's famous for doing these daily vlogs in Hollywood. One of the most recognizable faces in the world now for doing this. You're working on a new project with him.
Oh yeah, we actually just did season 2 of a show called Logan Paul Versus. It was along with Comcast Watchable. It's on Facebook Watch. It's him doing a bunch of really fun, trying out world experiences. He was on American Ninja Warrior. He wrestled a bear. Just him being his wild self.
I want his life.
Yeah,
honestly.
it's incredible.
Yeah, I don't want to be his insurance.
Wrestling the bear thing. Yeah, I'll pass it a couple of experiences.
I don't think I would want to wrestle the bear either, but yeah.
We actually have a clip of Logan Paul's new project. Let's show it now. It's really exciting, actually. Just the fact, what is your involvement in the creating of this project?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, we have a really close relationship. I mean, naturally, he's a creative genius, so we work with Logan Paul closely to kind of form these ideas. But yeah, we get a chance to package it, to pitch it, to find the funding, and then we shoot it. We do all the editing and creative. So,
wow,
incredible.
Fun journey.
And you have such an interesting story getting to this place. You know, What eventually led you to this place where you knew that you wanted to do this kind of work? I mean, were you clear about that sort of along the way, or was it a
not
insight
really.
that you had one day?
When I was in college, I was a screenwriting focus. I was a film and video major, but I was a screenwriting guy. And then one of the professors told me, well, if you're doing comedy screenplays, you should take an improv class. So I took an improv class, got really into comedy, and then
you just did Groundlings.
There we go, Groundlings. Love it. Sunday
Phil was
company.
born a funny man. So we actually met when I was 14. We met in high school. We went to high school together. I was cast.
I was also young. I don't want that to sound creepy. Yeah. She was 14. I was 48.
No, but we were cast together in the Beverly Hillbillies, and we did a school play, and he's been one of my best friends ever since.
Wow.
And so you've always been just such a creative and such a light, and just brought humor to everyone around you. The laughs.
Oh yeah. It was a stage adaptation of the Beverly Hillbillies, like the most Midwestern thing ever. And I played the villain, and you played Ellie Mae.
I was Ellie Mae playing.
Of course you were.
That's so
Of course you were.
So cool. So I have a question for you. So someone out there, people are going, okay, cool. It's cool to be one huge name that's already made it on YouTube. But so I'm imagining that you just, what recommendations would you say to someone that isn't quite there? Because I know if they've already made it, then they come to you. They're like, okay, I've got an audience. We can pitch it. We can get the backers. We can do it. That's like a whole other thing. But what do you recommend to somebody who hasn't made it yet? Do you know that part of it?
Yeah, there's so many ways. I mean, really, there's no one path to getting famous online. But the number one thing everybody has is they know what they want to do, they authentically want to do it, and they push through the hard times.
Wow.
Right? Like, you're not going to be famous day one, generally.
What?
You know?
Generally.
Yeah, exactly. You might not even be famous year 5 of doing it,
Right.
but if you keep creating consistent content, getting better, and experimenting with your audience and leaning into the stuff that's working, eventually you'll get there.
Well, and that's one of the things about Logan Paul, who we mentioned earlier. I mean, vlogging on a daily basis, and it's not perfect. It's crazy, but it's not perfect.
Yeah, and he didn't start there. He was a Vine guy. He started on Vine doing 6-second comedy, not getting paid, right? On Vine,
Right?
you didn't
No.
run ads, so.
But
you
it's
just
not
did it.
organic. Like, I mean, they came all sort of time that was, it was a time to do organic. Now, do you think someone can do it without making paying marketing dollars to get boosted
Oh, yeah.
and all that?
People are still getting famous every day.
They
I
are.
mean, it's.
But as famous as Logan Paul?
No.
That's tricky.
Yeah, that's true. Hopefully they'll get there.
Yeah, let's cut to that clip.
I'm Paul, and I am here to be the best luchador in the world. I will be your coach today. I want to survive in the wilderness. I'm here to become a ballerina. I'm about to spend the night in a haunted insane asylum. And I want to wrestle a bear. When a shark is hungry, he eats. When a gorilla is hungry, he eats. SEAL training, toughest training in the world. It's coming down to the wire. Now bring me the ball. Oh my God. What have I done?
Logan Paul, the viral sensation.
You look great. What are you talking about? Look at me, I'm a turtle. Do not underestimate me. I am a force to be reckoned with. I'm good, I got this. I'm a beast. I did wrestling in high school.
So awesome.
All right.
So awesome. You know what's so great about YouTube creators is that they have this just like you quality. They're relatable, and in Hollywood, that's very hard to achieve.
Oh yeah, the authenticity factor is huge, right?
for
If people
sure,
think
right?
you're a phony, it doesn't work on digital platforms.
Spidey senses
so.
go off.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
people
right.
think they know Lily Singh and Roman Atwood and all the other people we work with because they'll talk to them on Twitter and it's a two-way conversation.
It's amazing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I take it back. I don't want his life out there. That's so cool. So I want to hear, because I think that when people watch, they look at someone like you, they're like, wow, I mean, he has made it. He's working with the best of the best. He clearly understands what the entire world is looking at right now, the online world. But I want to know what you had to go through the walls. What was your darkest hour?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People don't know those things.
So I was working for a mobile phone content company for a bunch of years, right before the iPhone came out. So ringtones, wallpapers,
Oh, yeah, remember those
short
back in
form.
the day?
Like our most popular handset was the V3 Razr, the little flip phone.
Oh,
the
yeah, I
flat
had the
one.
Razr.
Yeah, everyone had the Razr.
That was so cool when it came out.
Yeah, it was awesome, but the
Yeah.
screen was like that,
Tiny.
right? It was terrible.
The guys were
Trick
like-
fingers are like punching
Yeah.
off. Yeah.
But then the iPhone came out, and the company I was working for immediately just tanked.
Done.
And I was the executive producer over there for a long time. I had all this experience in a market that didn't exist anymore. So I left the digital world for a couple of years, and I was a comedian on a cruise ship. And it
Told
was,
you he was a funny one.
Hilarious, right?
That's nice though, because you
great.
save all the money, right? You save
yeah,
all your
exactly.
money.
It's room and board. It's like living like the Jersey Shore. It's like wake up, I work out, I do my laundry, I sit in the
that's
sun.
right.
It's amazing.
GTL.
Exactly. Go to
Day
the
laundry.
bar. It's wonderful. But yeah, I thought I was out of the digital industry. I thought I was booted. But then naturally I came back after a couple years and I'm like, I want to do digital more. And I found a great job and I started doing the influencer thing, which has been great.
So the darkest hour was when you got booted out of the other phone.
Yeah, my job literally went away.
Wow.
All the
You were
experience
like,
I
I'm a
built
failure.
up was just like, yeah,
it's
exactly.
done, I'm over.
I was just
Did you
sitting
want to
watching-
quit completely?
Yeah,
At
I
that
did.
point you did,
I
right?
did. I like you've talked to my friends during that time. It was like maybe I want to be an actor. Maybe I want, like I was thinking of
Crisis,
reinventing
right?
my life.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
do I move back to Michigan?
Yeah.
What do I do? But yeah, eventually
Fascinating,
all of
right?
that experience paid off when there was the next revolution of digital content, which happened with kind of this rise of YouTube in 2012. So.
What's so interesting about you, I have to say, is that when you faced failure, you went to comedy.
Oh yeah.
I go to tears in like the fetal position. That's amazing. That's like
No, it's fun.
resilience.
That's what a lot of comedians feel deep inside. Is it's
Right.
heavily driven by insecurity and failure, and that's where the joke comes out.
Yeah, right. It's amazing. Absolutely.
No, I just wanted to say that so much of comedy is, based on misery sometimes and
totally.
failure
100%.
and drawing from those experiences. Do you think that helped you, or do you think that kept you in a darker place?
I think it helped me. Like when I used to do stand-up, I would be stressed out during the day, and I'd get on stage and have my 10 minutes, and it was just like exhaling for the first time, like get it all out there, and then I felt great after. Unless the show went terribly, then I felt bad.
Twice as bad.
You've been
I
doing
just
this
slit my wrist when I
corporate
went.
job in studio and also moonlighting as a comedian though for years.
Oh yeah, I don't do it as much as I wish I could
really?
now, but I still do a lot of improv when I
So
can.
where?
And,
Where can we find you?
I've been doing a lot of stuff at the Pack Theater lately. That's been kind of my new home. I used to do Second City Hollywood a lot, but I don't have a regular show there anymore. So the Pack Theater is brilliant. Miles Stroth started it. He's one of the pioneers of improv. So
We have to have a group night out.
Yeah.
there we go.
You must have along the way seen a lot of other comedians that now are pretty well known.
You know
right?
what's fun? I always tell this story, and people don't believe me. But when I was doing improv back in Michigan, there was a Second City Detroit. And the people who were performing there were Keegan-Michael Key and Mary Beth Monroe, who's now done a bunch of stuff like Workaholics, and Tim Robinson and Sam Richardson were performing at the Improv Inferno there, and now they're the stars of Detroiters, and just all these wildly famous people were just in this like little tiny huddled Ann Arbor comedy theater. So
It's incredible, right?
yeah. Oh yeah, the Tim Pool was great.
Okay, so back to what you said as far as if someone hasn't made huge in YouTube.
Right.
We know, like my own personal questions.
Absolutely, yeah.
These
We'll
are
get it done.
nothing personal here. I'm asking questions for the public out there.
Sure.
So obviously we know they want to get authentic.
Yes.
They want to try their content, see what's received, what isn't received. But what can they do? Like, are there anyone that you'd recommend for people to work with in town, or ways of, obviously cross collaboration is big.
Oh,
and
yeah.
What else? What other tips?
I mean, if you have friends with huge social followings, getting on their stuff is awesome.
Sure.
Like, that's the way to do it. The
Piggyback.
kind of entourage culture of
Yeah.
social media now is blowing up. Like, even Logan Paul's brother has Team 10. And they're a group of YouTubers that are all working together to rise.
I heard that they live in a house, right, or
They
something
live in
like
a
that.
house, they cause mischief. They're like
Wow.
kind of like Jackass was, where they're kind of like doing crazy stunts.
And you can't even hang out with anybody unless you have unless they have 1 million followers or something.
Yeah,
right?
or some help you get there if they just like you. You know?
that's
And
cool.
there's a bunch of them.
So
that
who do I
live-
need to schmooze?
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of them that live together, that hang out together.
I'm just gonna start hanging out in that neighborhood. I'm just gonna randomly
But
walking
do you
by
think,
the house.
so do you think it's possible though if you don't have the following?
Yeah, you bet. You bet. I mean, it's all about creating consistent, relevant content. Make it discoverable, right? Use the right hashtags.
Yeah.
Make sure you're making stuff about current trends that people are interested in. Like yesterday, there was the big Alabama election. If you became a respected voice in the Alabama election, then people would say, hey, I'm going to follow you and expect
Right.
more political advice in the future, right? So finding those tentpole moments that you can seize on is
Any
huge.
particular teacher online that you recommend for learning all those kind of?
It's
a lot. It's like learning Japanese.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
Right?
it's really tricky because there's first of all, there's a lot of snake oil out there. People who are like, $1,000, I'll teach you how to be
Yeah.
famous online, and then
I
they're
get
like,
all these newsletters from these YouTubers that are like, join my, workshop or whatever
Right.
for $1 bajillion,
Yeah,
and I'll
exactly.
make you famous. Does that
Yeah.
really work?
No, go to the website. I generally say like read Real SEO, go to TubeFilter and see what's happening in the market. Even Variety has an awesome digital section that if you just read the trades in there, you're like, okay, I get how people are getting famous on
Okay,
this.
cool.
And yeah, I mean, if you partner with a company that knows what they're doing, that's like Studio 71. That's a great way to start.
It's so interesting because you're so well versed in the evolution that is digital entertainment. How has that affected the whole scope of Hollywood, in your opinion?
Oh yeah. Well, what's great about it is there used to be these gatekeepers, right? And they
Right.
would say, you can't be on
Screw
TV.
you,
You can be on.
gatekeepers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Breaking down the walls of gatekeepers, right? But because of the digital video revolution, they've discovered all these new formats that work that they would have never thought worked. Like, who would have thought that somebody speaking directly to the camera about their opinions, like 14-year-old kids,
Right.
would be something people would want to watch? Well,
Somebody
YouTube is
opening
perfect.
a box.
Yeah, exactly. Unboxing videos.
Oh
Right?
my gosh, my little Zoe, my little niece,
Yeah.
addicted to them.
Yeah.
Really?
She's addicted. She loves it.
Well, it's like Christmas every day,
Yeah.
right? You watch an unboxing video,
Yeah.
it's like watching
Yeah.
people open
Yeah.
presents.
Yeah, now she does her own little videos.
Oh, that's so
yeah,
cute.
right. It's
That's
incredible.
adorable.
Where do you think the industry is
Yeah,
heading?
that's what I want to
Oh,
know.
yeah.
That's a multi-billion question right
Yeah,
there.
and we've got the multi-billion.
Lights out dinner. $1 million.
This is
Sure.
the question of the day.
Well, I'm going to
Here.
throw out some big predictions. So
Okay,
first
good.
of all, YouTube has been the pretty sole home of user-generated content. That's going to change really quickly. Facebook is growing. Musical.ly is huge, right? Instagram is starting to do more video stuff. So now we're going to start spreading out audiences across different platforms. But all these platforms have a very specific way to get famous, right? On YouTube, it was all about search and discovery. On Facebook, it's all about sharing. So you want to make really shareable, relevant content, right? Okay. If you're doing something like Musical.ly, you're back to like the short form comedy, almost like Vine, like quick hits, spirals, right? So if you know how to crack a platform and then dissect it and then build your own brand on it, you can do really well.
What's the Instagram secret?
The Instagram secret is polish, 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 right? You got a hashtag, but also everything has to be, I mean, the content has to be so good.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
Has to be filtered
right.
to the maximum.
You can't waste people's time on Instagram, because if you do all these polished pictures, then you do one that's just like, this means nothing, you're gonna lose engagement right away.
Wow.
So everything has to be super polished.
Interesting, fascinating. So any other new platforms that you see that potentially could be coming up?
Yeah, right now I'm most interested in Facebook, right? Because Facebook, they really haven't been focusing on video a ton in the past. Now it's blowing up.
How the hell do you get on the episodes? How do you get on the watch?
Yeah, I mean, that's tricky because right now they're curating it, but hopefully they open it up a little more.
You know somebody like Phil that knows somebody.
Yeah, we've got a couple shows on watch right now, and it's been really exciting because it's been shared well, and like Logan Paul Versus.
But do you feel like that is successful on Facebook for millennials? Because I thought Facebook was kind of dead. I thought it was all about the Snapchat and the Instagram.
You know, it's funny, depending on the article you read, every platform is dead all the time.
Yeah, right.
I've read 10 articles over the past 10 years saying YouTube's dead, right? These platforms aren't dead. Everyone goes to Facebook every day.
That's true.
Kids go to Facebook, not as much as adults do, but still enough of them. There's a huge audience there.
What do you think about Amazon? Because
Amazon is very interesting.
Right? There's so many things bubbling. I'm like, what's going to happen?
Oh yeah, and they've done some little video plays in the past. Prime is awesome.
Yep.
So I think they're going to start making more plays there.
I do Prime Music, you know?
Yeah, Prime Music is great. And even the Amazon Echo and the Amazon Show, like being able to say, hey, I want to watch a video from this, and having your voice assistant help you see it. Like, that's going to be huge in the future.
Huge.
VR and AR are going to be huge in the future, you know? Hopefully holograms get there, because people started teasing with those startups, so.
Whoa, have you ever been hologrammed?
I have never been hologrammed, but I've had a lot of fun watching other people be hologrammed, so.
Jazz, we need you to get hologrammed, because
there we go.
If you ever need a tester, I would love that. That's going to be on my bucket list right now.
I'll make sure to put you up for those,
Okay,
so
great.
cool.
It's interesting because Phil goes around the world speaking at these digital conferences, these video conferences. Do you think that Hollywood is really at the forefront of this? Or is this happening worldwide?
You know, less and less. Hollywood is less and less on the forefront of this. Naturally, being part of Hollywood, we want it to do well.
We want to believe.
But God, we've seen amazing content coming out. Like, for example, Gangnam Style came out of South Korea, right? And it was a global sensation. Despacito, definitely not targeted towards a U.S. audience. Most viewed video in the world now.
I still have it in my head.
Yeah, it's a great song.
It's a great song.
It wasn't just Justin Bieber that made it go.
Yeah.
It was a genuinely good song and a good music video. And yeah, India has been a really interesting market just because the amount of people. China. I mean, naturally, it's not. YouTube can't be accessed in China, but a lot of Chinese companies are funding into a lot lot of American content now.
Well, they have another company that's not, what's it called, Youku or whatever?
They got Youku Tudo there, they've got Tencent, they've got a lot of kind of versions of YouTube.
See, I know a lot about this stuff.
Know all
Are you creating your own personal content right now?
Not really.
Just a dog.
Just Big Head.
Right, exactly. Big Head's Instagram page. But yeah, it's tough because when you do something for a job all day, you don't want to go home. Like if you're a master chef, you don't want to go home and make pancakes.
So funny you say that. My first boss told me, always do what you love. And do too much of it.
Right.
Because you just get bored. You know?
But I'm also just a content fan, so I'll go home, I'll watch YouTube. Yeah. I'm a TV addict still. I mean, I came out to Los Angeles because I love media so much, I wanted to be a part of it, so I'm still doing that.
All right, cool. Well, we have to take a little break. Okay. And this is, I could sit here for hours with you, so I'm gonna have to pay for some extra counseling here. Sure. So when we come back, you guys, we're going to wrap up this day. It's been an epic day, diving more into wealth, diving into the mindset that it takes to become somebody who's an influencer around the world, you guys. So stay tuned and we'll be right back.
Yay!
We are back with digital media pioneer Phil Ranta, having a very interesting conversation.
Absolutely. So just to recap, what would your top 3 tips be to making creativity your business and monetizing it?
Yeah, absolutely. So number 1 is find your platform you want to be big on and start posting consistently. High quality content, keep letting it evolve. Number 2 is if you're big enough to ready to start monetizing, jump on one of those platforms, the sponsorship platforms like a FameBit or something like that, where you can do quick $50 sponsorships, show brands how good you are, and hopefully start making money. And number 3, be ready for when somebody says, what's your big idea? They have a big idea. Have the show that you want to make. Have develop as if you're already famous, right? Because that day will come. You got to be ready for prime time.
But wait, what was the second again? I've never heard of that.
Sure. So there's websites like FameBit, famebit.com. You can log on and say, hey, I've got 5,000 Instagram followers. Brands go on there and say, we're looking for Instagrammers. And you can just say, $50, I'll promote your thing. $100, I'll do your thing.
I didn't even know that.
Learn something new
right here.
So you know somebody just wrote a book based off this interview?
Yeah, right. Oh, don't take my money.
Phil Ranta away. Yeah, right. Exactly.
Now, I love what you said, though, and that's so much about what this show is about, is sharing your story and being ready for the moment so that when it happens, you can capitalize on it. And that's just what happened with Good Morning La La Land. We were all part of Focus TV, and the opportunity came. On Thursday, we talked about it. On Monday, we were live.
Right.
You have to be ready for it.
And what people don't see is the years you guys have been on camera and hosting and learning how to be on camera and learning how to talk. I mean, that's important.
I was just thinking about this morning. I was thinking about even like when I used to just do live streams on Facebook and how uncomfortable I was and people's comments, and I was thinking, well, you've got to go through that to get to the next thing, and it's kind of like people want to become the big star or become whatever. You can't think like that.
Right.
You're not going to jump into that quantum until you've done all the embodiment of the skills.
Yeah, it's very rare to be famous immediately. Very
Right?
It happens, but it's very, very rare.
Yeah, so creativity, it's a great one. I love your story. And any other last tips? I have a little game for us.
Oh, yeah.
So,
we love games.
Love to play the game, yeah.
So, okay, you guys, so I want to play a little game just because it's fun and whatever, and just to go totally off topic here. So I want to know, what is the best Christmas gift you've ever received?
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
That's tough. I have to go back to, there was one year where the Sega Genesis and the Super Nintendo came out. Man. And my brother got the Super Nintendo and I got the Sega Genesis, but we traded, like, it was almost like both were shared. And God, we played those so much.
Did you Band-Aid up and
track and field? You better believe,
Oh my God.
That was the, that was
I never experienced that. I don't know.
Oh man, you're missing out.
We didn't sleep for weeks.
Yeah.
We were up all night.
We had
Yeah.
Pong when I was a kid.
We had Mike Tyson's Punch Out. We had track and field.
Yeah, all the Zelda games.
Zelda.
Were amazing.
Zelda went on forever.
Gosh, yeah.
What was your best gift, Rob?
Boy, I think it was the Super Nintendo. That was one of the best gifts ever. I was a huge basketball fan, so there was a Christmas where I traded in a BB gun, and then my parents went in with me, and I got a basketball hoop, which was like, for me, everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Life-changing.
That was life-changing for me, yeah.
Nice.
What
What's your
about
jazz?
you? Oh.
The first thing that came to my head was Barbie Dreamhouse. And I think it's because that is the first Christmas gift I can remember getting, and that feeling, it was like dreams came true.
Wow.
There was an elevator, it was pink. I mean, I was so excited for the world I was about to create.
And now you live in that house.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. It's all based on LA.
Exactly.
I'm on my way to building that house, manifesting that destiny from a young age.
That's funny. I'm going to have a victim story right now because I remember seeing that house at like the mall or whatever, and I remember thinking, this is the one time in my life I really, really want something, and my mom wouldn't get it for me. And I remember being literally devastated. I've been in therapy ever since.
Oh yeah, working through that Barbie Dreamhouse.
Right?
The trauma.
I mean, like the trauma and the programming, all that around the Barbie house.
I'm sorry, Erin.
So I really hate you.
I know,
Right.
I know
We'll
how you
get it on
feel about
eBay.
it.
Exactly. Can we go play? Can I come over and play later?
Absolutely, but I will tell you, one of the biggest disappointments of my childhood was when I got Escapade Barbie, and she would figure skate around, and you would see her skating on the
Escapade.
commercials. That was one of the first commercials where Barbie was actually animated, and I thought she was going to skate. So I froze in a pie dish, and I made her this little ice rink, and I put that Barbie on there, and she did not skate.
Wow.
It just fell over.
She fell over, and I about lost it. I made my mom return it. I had been lied
my
to. I
gosh.
was so devastated.
Okay, next question. What was the worst Christmas present you ever received?
Escapade Barbie.
She's always one step ahead, Jess. Always one step ahead.
Do you know how when you have a new girlfriend and their parents want to buy you something?
Awkward.
There was one time I remember, maybe I was in my mid-20s and I was dating somebody and their parents bought me a shirt. And I had to pretend I liked the shirt for years. And every time I'd go back and visit, I'd have to wear that shirt, and it was the grossest. It was like weird colors and strange patterns. But
unless you know someone really well, clothing's a tough
Clothing's
buy.
a bad-
It really
bad
is.
idea.
No,
Yeah,
yeah.
not a good
You feel
idea.
obligated to wear it.
Okay, so next question is, what is the thing that you fear or dread the most during the holidays?
Wow.
Ooh. Eggnog. I hate eggnog. Everybody wants me to love eggnog, and I'm like, oh no, I don't want to do it.
So delicious. For me, it's always travel. There was one year where I, flying out back to Michigan, I missed my flight and I was stuck in airports for 3 days. Sleeping on the ground.
Literally
Everything was
3
canceled.
days?
Literally 3 days.
Wow.
It was awful. Finally, I got back to Chicago. My parents had to drive from Grand Rapids to Chicago to pick me up. But now every time I go to the airport, I'm like, we have to be there 4 hours early. We have to be in line. Like, we have to push our way onto the plane so that we're on there first.
The only thing worse than that is flying standby on the holidays.
Yeah.
I fly standby sometimes the holidays.
I would never do that, ever.
No, of course you wouldn't, because you had Dreamhouse Barbie.
No, I did not.
Oh, that's right, you didn't. Jess did.
Mine was a vacuum. That was the worst.
Was it a
present ever.
vacuum?
I actually
No.
got snowed out of, my mom at that point in time lived in Tahoe, and the whole family was up there. And I got snowed out, and they gave me a vacuum for, it was a terrible Christmas.
What message is that sending?
No wonder I did therapy. No wonder I went to spirituality. Okay, next is, what are you most excited about for the holidays?
Loaded questions,
I know.
Aaron.
Quiet time. I'm most excited about quiet time. I talk to people all day. You have no idea. I talk to people all day, every day. So I love talking, and I also like quiet time.
Yeah. I'm gonna go cheesy. I get to see my family a couple times a year. I get to see my niece and nephew a few times a year. I'm just excited to spend time with.
He's such a cool uncle,
Yeah.
I'm sure. Like,
Clearly.
cool uncle.
I know it's so hard to like.
Well, also with the improv background, playing with little kids is just an improv game that never stops. Like, you're an army soldier, and I'm this thing, and we're fighting, and we're, you know.
It's endless groundlings.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
I'm most excited to start a new year. Just to start over, to start, thinking about what my goals are going to be, to let go of 2017 and really just start fresh in 2018. Yeah. That's what I'm most looking forward to.
Nice.
What about you, Aaron?
I mean, for sure, time with my son.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, just that. That's it.
You're the most amazing.
And LA is so quiet during the holidays, by the way.
I do
I'm
love
very
that.
much
I do
looking
love
forward
that.
to no traffic.
Right.
LA is so peaceful during Christmas. If you haven't been here during the holiday yet, it's like another
It's like
city.
the apocalypse. Like
Yeah.
nobody's on the roads.
right.
Yeah, nobody's on the
Completely.
road.
I always describe it as that first scene out of Vanilla Sky, with
It
Tom
is.
Cruise walks into
Completely.
Times Square, and it's
Right,
just like,
it's empty.
No one.
yeah, he's like, what happened?
Yeah, so if you're in LA, and don't be like surprised when there's no traffic. You're like, they talk about how terrible the traffic is, and you come here for Christmas and there's no traffic.
There'll just be me and my Fiat like in a parade by myself.
That's right. Yeah, all green lights, every direction.
Yeah.
So on that note, we've got to wrap up, but I just want to say thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having
This
me.
woman is amazing, honestly, and it says a lot, It says a lot about who our friends are and everything, and I'm really impressed with your work.
Thank you.
Holy
No, it was a
cow.
pleasure to be here. I'd love to be back.
Right?
Whenever you
Absolutely.
want me.
So awesome.
We're going to have you
bet,
back
yes.
for sure.
Sure.
So just to recap, just thinking about the holidays, don't get too stressed about money. It's not what the holidays are about. It's about love, family, making memories, and having rituals around it. So there's many ways of doing that without going into major debt. So on that note, we know that whatever you truly desire, whatever creativity is coming out of you, it's always possible. And you can learn and grow and know that this man, nor any of us, did it overnight, and it is all about the passion, and that's what Focus TV is all about. We are here to really witness people's passions and unfolding. That's the beauty of LA. That's why we're here.
To tell their stories,
Right?
Monday through Friday, live, 9 a.m. Pacific time on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. It's going to be a good morning, La La Land.
Take care, you guys. Have a great day.